Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic Live. I'm your host, Neil Johnson. Excited to be with you and always excited to share the news with you. This one is going to be a little different, folks, because Brad Raffensperger has been vindicated. And you guys know I've railed on Brad Raffensperger for a long time, and I haven't really thought highly of him. But I'm going to show you his tweet here on X. Post, I guess it would be called. Why is this not remove other medias? It's not allowing me to. There it is. Okay. I don't know why that was giving me a little grief. Here it is. This ruling is just one more resounding vindication of Georgia's elections. From day one, we knew these accusations were meritless. Real world evidence shows that Georgia's paper ballot voting system works. Now, this is in response, folks, to a ruling that just came out of Judge Amy Totenberg's court, where the Curling v. Raffensperger case, which has basically been going on for 8 years, just had a ruling in it this week. And the ruling was, now, and you guys aren't going to believe this, so blow your ever-loving mind. Let's see. Got to get to this one here. Okay. Lack of standing. Lack of standing. Not only was it lack of standing, the court said it lacked jurisdiction, folks. So my friend Brian Lupo, who many of you know, wrote this article. Brian spent a lot of time on this case, okay? A ton of time. He's flown down to Georgia. He's been in the courtroom where Alex Halderman famously hacked the machine right in front of the judge, Judge Totenberg. And the judge did say that just because you question elections does not mean you're a conspiracy theorist after this happened right in front of him. Okay. It was a wild video. So this is going on right now in Georgia. I do want to mention too, we've got another special offer, folks, from MyPillow, kitchen and towel sale, as low as $9.99. Okay. But it's not just with the promo code. Okay. You actually have to go to, and I'll show you how this works, just so you understand. But I always say call the 800 number, 1-800-568-2865, okay? But I'm going to remove this, and then I'll bring this back in, and I'm going to show you something. If you go to mypillow.com/lumberjack, there's the tile. There's the deal. But if you just go to mypillow.com, the tile's not there. And so, then if you go to, like, let's say here, dishcloth and towel sets, the same offer is not there. You've got to go to the /lumberjack page. Okay. So that's that. Oh, wait, I've got a special guest and I see him. And I had to bring this guy on, folks, because he was vindicated earlier. He came on the show wearing a tinfoil hat. And now we've got this ruling, this egregious ruling out of the state of Georgia. So here we go, folks. Mr. Mike Lindell, there he is.
Good morning, Neil. I'm just getting caught. I'm just getting caught up on this crooked Brad deal here. Well, you have to enlighten me here, and I can give you my comments.
Well, my good friend Brian Lupo, CanCon, and actually, when I first met you, Mike, was at the symposium down in South Dakota, Sioux Falls, and I went with Brian and Marcus, my friends Brian Lupo and Marcus D, and so he was there with me that fateful day. And he spent 2 weeks in the courtroom covering this trial. And so we're going to pull from his article, but you just sent this offer over. So I really want your comments on this case, but just so everybody knows, this kitchen and towel sale as low as $9.99 exclusive offer. And I was reading some of the reviews on this. I'm going to have to get some of these. This is one product of yours I don't have, Mike.
Right. This is the kitchen and bath towel and washcloths and also we have oven mitts. We have stuff you never even thought of, pot holders, you name it, for the kitchen and for the bathroom. But all of these, remember it, we have the box stores that were coming back, you guys. They all canceled again. Beals is right there. There's all, I can just sit here and name box store after box store. I am so upset, but once again, we're going to pass the savings on to your audience, Neil, that promo code Lumberjack. And I was just cutting in there. You're right, everybody. You got to go to /Lumberjack to get that. This is a very special wholesale pricing. This is wholesale pricing. Not only are they new products, we had hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of towels come in, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of these, all this stuff for the kitchen, and box stores cancel. And we've got to, we're not in any shape with all the attacks to be able to sit on this and slow sell it at these higher retail prices. So I said, you know what? Let's pass it on to the customers that have saved us. And at wholesale price, you guys, these are as low as $9.99. These towels, there's all different kinds of bath or kitchen towels too. They actually, you guys there's different, you'll see the verbiage down below at each one. They all mean something. I don't know, Neil. To me, a kitchen towel is a kitchen towel, but all kitchen towels are not created equal, apparently. So,
well, I mean, bath towels aren't created equally. I found that out, and I told people, like my 3 favorite products of yours is those sheets. Good night, and you still got the sheet sale running. Then,
yeah.
And that was that great deal you offered out to our listeners.
Yeah.
Then it was the bath towels, and it's the travel pillows. Those are my 3 favorite products. But you're right, because if you go in here, I just want to show the audience here. I'm going to pull up your website, Mike. So this is when you go to the Lumberjack page, you'll see this tile. If you go so here, this is the main site. I just worked through the homepage. 8-pack waffle dishcloth set, $19.99. It will come up as $9.99
right
on Lumberjack.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys go to Lumberjack, and there's the $9.99 specials right in the middle. You guys, we extended the sheet sale. Remember, that's queen size $29.99 or $29.98. Queen size, king size $34.98. And then we have the crosses. You guys, the crosses are normally 20% off. Those are 100% made in the USA. My most requested product I think I've ever had. When are you going to make a cross, Mike? When are you going to make a cross? These are awesome. You save 30% here. 20% at the My Store or MyPillow.
Yeah, if you go to the homepage of MyPillow, that's 30% off. You guys, you get the best deals here. So if you want this stuff, look, I mean, gifts, I am telling you, do not shop at Amazon. If you guys didn't catch yesterday, I did the video on Mark Zuckerberg, but also Jeff Bezos and Amazon were involved in that, everything in these antitrust lawsuits. And they have deplatformed. So if you don't remember the Parler story, that was hosted by AWS. Amazon's cloud services. That's what hosted Parler and just eliminated it, wiped it right out.
That's right. I want to tell you this, everybody. Before the 2020 election, Mark Zuckerberg would not let me be in my own ads on Facebook. I had to remove myself from the MyPillow ads, if you can imagine that. Why? Because I was branded with our great president? I don't know. It was ridiculous. For 2 months prior to the 2020 election, I could not be in my own ads. You can't make this stuff up.
And it's so ridiculous. But folks, I'm going to tell you, don't even go to the /Lumberjack. Call this 800 number and give those home operators. I mean, these are like a lot of the people you employ, Mike, they're recovering addicts. So this gives them meaningful work. 1-800.
Absolutely. These guys, I want to tell you, you're calling, when you call the 800, I believe it's 568 2865. You guys call that, you're going to get moms and dads who work from home. And get this, our government, starting with Minnesota, tried to say they could not work from home. That was about 2 years ago. We fought them in 3 states, and guess what, everybody? We won. They get to work from home, and it's all based on a small commission, so you're helping them, and it's really that was one of the big victories we had that goes unnoticed. Like, everybody was working from home after the virus, and then their government said, "Oh no, you can't work from home. You have to work in a place. You can't work on these commissions." And I'll tell you, these people have been with me a long time. They're awesome. They rely on all of you out there for their livelihoods. So
look,
you're really I
want to cover this Georgia story, but Mike, I need to ask you a question. And maybe I should save this. I want you to think on this because I want to get into this news story. But I am going to ask you later. I do not understand how anybody can run a business with these kinds of attacks coming at you when you're placing when you have these box stores placing these big orders and then canceling them out.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
how do you even plan for that? This is
No,
nuts.
you can't. It's been horrific, and it's almost like they call up these box stores and go, "Hello, don't you're going to MyPillow? Shut her down, shut her down." I mean, I don't understand it, but it's a full blown attack, and it's because I want to go to paper ballots, hand count everybody, and get rid of machine. That's what it all is all about. If I walked away from that and said, "Hey, you know what? Machines are okay though for the voting machines." Um, it would all probably go away, but they want to destroy my voice. And this, you guys, what you're going to see today, this case is the tip of the spear. This goes back to me, this thing here with Brad Crooked Ratzenberger. This is a huge, huge, huge case. And it sounds to me like there was a bad ruling, or what went on here, Neil?
So, well, here's what we've got. So it's lack of standing. So the judge, Amy Totenberg, whose sister is Nina Totenberg of NPR fame, absolutely as far left as left can get. Okay. So this is I'm not saying that you're always equivalent of your brother or sister, but this is certainly some far left ties. And her ruling was bad. But she did say something, Mike, and I'll never forget this. This is when you wore the tinfoil hat.
Right.
Because right in front of her, okay, and I'm going to read here quickly from Brian. It says, earlier this week, on April Fool's Day of all days, a decision from a federal court in Georgia began to reverberate through social media. The decision to dismiss the Curling v. Raffensperger case after an 8-year-long battle waged by Coalition for Good Governments and Marilyn Marks shocked many who followed the case in 17-day trial closely. I covered this closely for the Gateway Pundit. He flew to Atlanta, Georgia for 2 weeks. Okay, the case to ban ballot marking devices should have been a slam dunk after Dr. J. Alex Halderman hacked the machines several different ways in front of the judge, even going so far as to hacking the machine so the ballot appeared in every way as if it was an accurate representation of the voter's intent. But when Dr. Halderman scanned the ballot, it was tabulated with a completely different result. He also hacked it with a ballpoint pen famously. And this is where she did say that just because you're questioning elections, you're not a conspiracy theorist. And I had you on that week with your tinfoil hat on.
Right. This guy, I'm going to bring people back, Neil, on this case. This is probably one of the most important cases in history. It did open so many eyes. This was involved for 8 years, like they said. In everywhere I went, from Louisiana to Senate hearings, this Curling Ratzenberger case got brought up. You guys, this goes back to Crooked Brad Ratzenberger. He's a Republican Secretary of State of the great state of Georgia. Brad Ratzenberger is the worst in the whole country. There's nobody worse than Brad. He's been in on this. I know it. All the stuff we have on him. Here's what the Curling case was. They said these machines, remember, Crooked Brad and Brian Kemp, they bought all these machines down there, these Dominion machines, for $119 million.
Yeah, it was over 100 million.
I mean, 119 million. Now, when they did that, then they also got, what happened was they took, it was Democrats originally that took them to court and said, hey, we've got to get rid of these machines. I'm paraphrasing. Well, two guys looked into it. One was Alex Halderman. He was a cyber expert. He's and by the way, he's on the left, everybody. He's a lefty. He does not like Donald Trump. Or at least he didn't then. Maybe he's changed. A lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon here. Well, anyway, Alex Halderman then did a deep dive into the machines. This is long before the 2020 election. And they said, hey, this report, it was called the Halderman report. They didn't let it out. It was so explosive, everybody. They couldn't let it out. I mean, they're going, we're not letting it out. Then they held on to that, and Crooked Brad he's holding it back. And then they give it to Crooked CISA, the government, and they hold it back. Now all these states are asking for it after the 2020 election, including Louisiana, Dominion's longest running partner, and another terrible Secretary of State. He turned out to be good in the beginning, then it turned out to be bad. Of Louisiana, he asked for that Haldeman report. Everybody was asking for it. Why aren't you showing us? Finally, in the summer, I believe it was the summer of 22, Alex Haldeman said, "You know what? I got to tell people what's in that. This is, um, historical. I mean, it's you can't use these things." And and that was just the one brand, Dominion, by the way. The biggest brand in the country is ES&S. So don't ever think it's just Dominion, everybody. It's all the machine. We got to get rid of them all. Anyway, so this goes. Now they released the report, and everyone's going. But remember, the media would hold it down. Everybody, it was like completely hidden. Where it didn't get, you didn't see it on Fox News, everybody, or you didn't see it on Newsmax, and the left sure wasn't putting that up. They probably attacked me for it when I kept bringing up people like that lady that got 0 votes. This nice Democrat lady, her and her husband got 0 votes in her own precinct.
Yes.
All these things happen in Georgia. Remember, where if you're a Democrat down there, I'm sorry, the uniparty works. You ain't winning unless Brad says it's okay for you to win. Okay. Now, remember the famous call, everybody, for the president was with crooked Brad Rassenberger. That call proved that there was election crime. The president asked him, he's looking at a list. He lost by, I don't know, 11,000 something, they say, or whatever it was. He goes, just find any one of these, because it said you had like 18,000 non-residents that voted in Georgia, all these dead people, people in prison, all these things that I found in every state. The president's looking at the list. Crooked Brad goes, well, those numbers aren't right. And the president goes, well, where'd we get these from? And his lawyer said, sir, we got them from Brad Rasper. We got them from the Secretary of State's office. And Brad goes, well, those are the wrong numbers. The president says, well, when do we get the real ones? They never gave them to it, everybody, because those were the real ones. He won Georgia by over 300,000 votes they stole through these crooked machines. Now, fast forward, remember I said the summer of 22, when this all came out, now the fall, it would have been the fall of, I think it was the fall of the fall of 23. By the fall of 23, this is what Neil just mentioned, everybody. This judge, Totenberg, she's an Obama appointed judge. And she's finally, after all these years, going, okay, I was surprised. She comes out and she says, hey, we're going to move this case forward. Because it's sat there dormant. We're going to move it forward. And if you question the machines, you're not a conspiracy theorist. You have every right to question it. In January of 24, everybody, just over a year ago, this judge, like Neil said, in her courtroom, Alex Haldeman came in there and said, let me show you something. Less than 5 minutes, hacked in and flipped the whole election right in front of her with a ballpoint pen, which anybody can do that has half a brain for IT. It's disgusting. This isn't even a deep cyber guy. This is very simple things to do. And they all had, as my lawyers and stuff all found out, they all have encryption keys in all the machines. It's like having the combination to a safe at a bank, right there on the side of the bank. If you're going to take it, there's the combination for me. This is real, you guys. So he flips the election. Now, Neil, I called this. I said, that judge then, she got all the evidence and she sat on this. I said, that judge is trapped. She is absolutely trapped. No judge in this country, everybody, wants to be the first judge to rule that these machines got to go like they did in Argentina. And one judge did it and they were gone in 4 months. No judge does. It takes like this. Hey, you're living with a pretty nice family. We don't know that. Some judges are complete uniparty judges and they're appointed and I'm not talking them.
By the way, Mike, I got to mention, folks, be paying attention because I am just putting the finishing touches on a video about John Roberts that will blow your ever loving mind.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You've got to be paying attention. Watch that video when it drops today.
Okay. Awesome. But here, let me finish this part now, everybody. I want you to follow this. This judge, in January of 24, just a little over a year ago, she was trapped. And I called it. I said, she's not making, she can't make a ruling. She's got to wait for this to die, go past the election. And every election in Georgia, by the way, they go, it's too close to the election to change our platforms. We have to keep what we have. They do it every election in Georgia. Okay. Now, this judge, this Totenberg, she she couldn't. Either she was threatened, but yet, you guys, I don't think, I don't think she was as crooked as a lot of judges out there, because she didn't have to push the case forward. She could have killed it back then and said it's not
Well,
going forward, but she did. Now it goes past the election, and what does she do now? She says the citizens don't have standing. You guys,
wait, it gets better, Mike. It's worse than that. She said this is where it gets really crazy. She said that basically no one was denied the right to vote. Okay? This is true. This is the thing. She's like, so no one was denied the right to vote, but no one has the right to see how their vote was tabulated.
right.
This is actually no, I'm like I've got to
Well,
get in.
Neil, that doesn't surprise me at all, because she needed an out, everybody. She gave herself an out. She had a whole year to think about it. I'm going to make this nonsensical ruling, but she's a judge. They can get by with this garbage.
Listen to this right here. See this? In her ruling, Judge Totenberg acknowledges that although the QR code is used to tabulate each person's vote, voters cannot review the contents of the QR code to confirm that it accurately reflects their selections. And the plaintiff's claims concern the interest of safeguarding the credibility and reliability of Georgia's election. She acknowledges that the issue of standing was brought up previously in the case, with it upheld both in her court and the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, and plaintiffs did in fact have standing. However, Totenberg invokes the Supreme Court having more clearly defined the legal requirements for standing, among other justifications. So she is arguing that even though you don't know what's in the QR code when you vote, you have not been denied the right to vote. But here's the problem with that. If you're not denied the right to vote, but your vote isn't reflecting what you voted for, you have been denied the right to vote.
Absolutely.
And one of the things I hate about these legal decisions when I read them is how twisted the legal profession, it's just a war of words, and it's word ownership. And it's like, well, you could vote, heaven forbid that it casts, like you might vote for, let's say Biden, and it casts a vote for Trump, but hey, you were able to vote. I mean, I'm just flipping it around to the other side here.
Right.
It's
well, and Neil, you're exactly right. And everybody, the president's executive order. Remember, I brought him 4 years of reports from us a couple 3 weeks ago. When he came out with that executive order, one of the things in there is paper ballots with no QR codes and no barcodes, and that eliminates Georgia's machines overnight. Boom, they're gone. Okay, man, Crooked Brad. You guys, Crooked Brad Rassenberg, when he came out with that executive order, gets to the news and said, I'm going, what's Brad going to say? Because he's caught, basically, or he's done. He says, oh, this is a good step in the right direction. He is such a traitor to this country. There's nobody worse than Brad Rassenberg. You guys, this goes both. I'm telling you, I've told you so many times, all the examples of Democrats in Georgia that get things, that these anomalies you can't even make up. That's why the Democrats went after Brad. And so this goes both ways. Georgia's been the tip of the spear in many ways down there.
Did you see this,
I will
Mike?
say this, though, is this judge, it doesn't surprise me at all. And that word standing, everybody, when you talk standing and sanctions, this is what I've learned over the last 4 years. None of us knew these words before. This is insane. Like the Carrie Lake case that I financed down in Arizona. All the judge says, well, she doesn't have standing. Who does? She's running for office. Are you kidding me? She didn't have standing. And then, you guys, here's a good one. And when I'm sued for billions of dollars at MyPillow, my employee-owned company, attacked. Still on the books there. We haven't even been to summary judgment with Dominion, Smartmatic, and I wish the other ones, but they're suing us. So I went out around this country and asked for 10 machines in key places. One of them was in Michigan. And that's my evidence. I need to see what's inside this machine, and I will show you what we're talking about. The judge said, you know what? I'm going to sanction you $22,000. How dare you even ask for that machine? How dare you ask? You guys, I had to pay $22,000 for my lawyers asking to get the machine as my evidence. This is disgusting. Sanctioning and no standing. It's
Well,
disgusting.
and they're disbarring attorneys over it. They're sanctioning attorneys over this
Yeah,
stuff too,
yeah,
simply for taking up cases where
yeah.
there's legitimate evidence, where there's a legitimate question. And Amy and Totenberg even said it in her courtroom that you're not a conspiracy theorist. And Mike, I started the show before you got on, and I got to show you something because Brad's doing a victory lap right now. This ruling is just one more resounding vindication of Georgia's elections. From day one, we knew these accusations were meritless.
Oh my
Real
gosh, it's
world
just
evidence
sickening.
shows that Georgia's paper ballot voting system works. So this is the victory lap that Mr. Raffensperger or Ratzenberger, whatever you want to call him, is taking now on this. But I have a
Such a
question,
criminal.
Mike, for you. I have an interesting thought on this. I am going to mention again really quickly, folks. There's an exclusive offer, mypillow.com/lumberjack, or call the 800 number. You can't just type in the promo code. This deal will not come up. I mean, I've tried it. It doesn't. This is exclusive to my audience. There is a tile right on the homepage you can go to and click the lumberjack, or you just go mypillow.com/lumberjack. But I am always telling people, just call the 800 number, 1-800-568-2865. There is a big difference in dish towels in terms of holding odor, being
Oh my gosh, it's
antimicrobial
yeah,
cotton.
these are absolutely amazing, everybody. And you're right. If you go to mypillow.com, don't scroll down till you see a picture of Neil there. We just put it up last week. Click on that, and there's your exclusive specials with that promo code Lumberjack, everybody. Or you go to mypillow.com/lumberjack. You guys, these are all the stuff that we're getting where the box stores, once again, they go, okay, we're coming back. And why are they canceling again right now? Because they want me to shut up about these machines. You guys, we are in the biggest fight for our freedoms in history. And everyone says, well, the president got in, Mike, you're vindicated. No, they stole 4 senators, 9 congressmen, and they're going to steal the 20 in the midterm. They're going to steal it anyway. They could go in for impeachment. You don't know what they're going to do. We have to win now. We've got to get rid of these machines. Isn't it timing? Neil, look at the timing of this judge down in Georgia putting this out there a couple weeks after the president's executive order. So Crooked Brad, who made a few phone calls after that, first Brad says, oh, the president, this is a good start. Saying that their paper ballot system is good in Georgia. It's not a paper ballot system. I mean, it's 100% computerized. They have QR codes and barcodes on their ballots. And we've said it many times how Democrats, I'll give you the 2 examples again. This is Crooked Georgia and Crooked Brad. In the summer of 22, 3 Democrats were running. This nice lady, I believe her name is Brenda, her and her husband got 0 votes in her own precinct. Well, Crooked Brad going, oh man, we should have gave her 2 votes. We could have told her nobody loves her but her husband, or we could have gave her 1 vote. Crooked Brad, we could have gave her 1 vote and they'd be in divorce court. But they gave her 0, everybody. So they had to look into it. They looked into it. They opened up the computer. Like if you didn't have money in your bank account and you knew there was money there, you'd go there. The first thing you would do is look in the computer. They had to look in that computer and that voting machine. They open up and go, oh, I'm sorry, Brenda, you got 4,000 or 5,000, I think it was 800 and some votes. You went from 3rd to 1st place. In a period of 2 days, that's how long that audit took, everybody. Now, here's the big one. Neil, I love telling this story about Crooked Brad. 5 counties over, everybody. This other lady was 3 Democrats in a primary again. This lady got like 6,000 or I think 6,000 odd votes, but she wasn't on the ballot and she wasn't a write-in. Now I'm going to think about this. She said she was running 2 months earlier. She backed out. Now we get this. My team gets this. Goes, what? She's got 6,000. What they did, and every vote was pulled away from this one candidate they did not want to win, and then which gave this other one the win. Now, when it came out and was going, this is crazy. Well, the media kept it down, and I don't even think there's one thing out there about it. We were all over it. My team's in Georgia. Well, here's what they did. Crooked Brad had to quick come and open up those machines, shut down the media about it. It would have made international news. Okay. Instead, they opened up the machines again. They did this in 1 day, by the way, and said, oh, this was a programming error. Well, Brad, why are you programming our elections? And I want to talk to the guy that typed that lady's name in to put the program in that stole the ballots from the one lady who stole the votes and gave it to her. Anyway, they settled it in 2 days, and the other guy got put in as the candidate instead of this lady in the general election. Crooked Brad, all he said was it was a programming error. Well, I'd like to take the guy that typed it in and waterboard him or something and say, who told you to do this? You know?
Well, do you know what I find interesting in all of these cases? I have a question on this. I mean, this was held up in court for 8 years, Mike.
Yeah.
So, and then now all of a sudden you don't have jurisdiction and the plaintiffs don't have standing.
It's unreal.
Now, 8 years later. So, yeah. I mean, was this delayed by design?
Right. 100%. Each time it was. This was it was delayed before 2018, 2020, 2022, and 2024. Okay. Each time it was delayed. When that judge was trapped, when he did that, you know, that should have been on national TV around the shot heard around the world when he hacked in. Neil, you and I knew about it because all the media, like your podcast and all this other media that's growing out of there, Lindell TV, all these other places. Otherwise, you didn't see it on any major news outlet that he hacked into that machine. And no one would want these machines. 132 countries that have banned voting machines are laughing at the United States. They got over there going, why won't anybody listen to Mike Lindell? Seriously, over in Israel, all these places are going, what's wrong with the United States on these voting machines? The Democrats all want them gone. Neil, I was just questioned yesterday by the Star and Tribune. They were asking me about.
Oh gosh, the Red Star, the Red Star, I call it. This is the worst paper in America.
Anyway, they were drilling me on this, and they said, you know, what would you run on if you did run for governor? I go, getting rid of the electronic voting machines, getting to paper ballots, hand count, common sense government. And I told that Star and Tribune guy, and I said, his name is Brian. I said, Brian, Amy Klobuchar, our senator, has wanted the machines gone since 2018. She was in the movie Kill Chain, but she kept talking about it all the time. Here's what she said exactly. And she named the companies. Dominion, Hart, ESNS, she named them. 4 companies are running our elections. This is wrong. We need to get rid of them. And you guys heard she said that, and she did not get sued. Kamala Harris, all the Democrats jumped on board and said, we got to get rid of the machine. You think right now, you know what's stopping it, everybody, from getting there? Uniparty Republicans with the leader of Brad Raffensperger. He is the leader of all. We used to have the Rafferty Awards for the biggest trader in the country. Robin Voss from Wisconsin won it so many weeks in a row, we had to quit having it.
Robin Voss from Wisconsin, folks. If you don't know who this is, longest serving Speaker of the House in any state legislature. Paul Ryan's former roommate, runs Wisconsin with an iron fist. A crooked iron fist. Everybody here, I'll give you everybody a little what a uniparty is. So Robin Voss ordered. He's the one that ordered to have a complete investigation in Wisconsin of the 2020 election, and it came back, and it said there was fraud everywhere. Okay, all this fraud. Well, Robin Voss, him and I, we text and we're talking. I go, Robin, he goes, Mike, unless the court rules on this, I can't do anything. 3 weeks later, everybody, the Supreme Court of Wisconsin, the one they just stole the election from, they said there's fraud everywhere. Robin Voss went into hiding, and we got someone to run against him. He cheated there too. 2:30 in the morning on that election in 22, Robin sends me a text. He goes, Mike, I beat you twice. I said, you stole it twice, you traitor. I said, you stole it twice, you traitor. He goes, yeah, but I'm going to sleep pretty good tonight, not on your crappy pillows. That's what he wrote me. That's what he texted me. Wow. Bragging about stealing election. Now, you guys, that Supreme Court one that they just stole on Tuesday in Wisconsin, that was so important. They stole tens of thousands of votes. All you got to do, I posted it on my social media. All you got to do is look at the math. They stole that because it's so key to keep Robin Voss, the traitor of the country, in charge there, and that nothing gets pushed through to help the election. You take the machines out of Wisconsin, if you take them out, Neil, it's probably, I would say, 58% red. It's not, you don't have to worry about these. You don't have to worry about these places in. You don't have to worry about these places in
Milwaukee and all these places.
Dane
They're
County.
purple.
Dane County.
Yeah, it's
Do you know,
disgusting.
Mike? So I two things. One, as you were talking, look, folks, if you haven't figured it out, if there is programming errors, and there always seems to be programming errors, they say a lot of times in different states, programming errors. Okay, I know how to get rid of programming errors. The Lindell plan, paper ballots. There is no programming error in a paper ballot. It's
That's right.
printed. The names are on it. It's really simple. This is why I love voting at my precinct caucus. I literally fill it out on a little piece of paper. We put it in a hat. It's counted openly in front of everybody when we endorse candidates at caucus. So real simple. I mean, you guys, everybody should be in on paper ballots. We always used to know election results like right away, and people were counting it by hand. It's nuts. Okay. Right. But I need you to address this question, Mike, or well, comment. And I saw this come across, and nothing will be done about the corruption in Georgia. Now, this is a common thought amongst people on the right. They're like, well, it's hopeless. Nothing's ever going to happen. I want you to address that. But I also want to put forth the idea that we really have one shot at this.
Yeah.
This is it. This is our one shot. I used to work in business to business sales. And when I had that meeting set up the way I wanted, I had one shot to get that deal.
That's right.
We have one shot right now. We have a Republican Congress, a Republican Senate that wants to block Trump on tariffs. And we have President Trump. And I think we've got one shot. And if we want to save this country, that's what we've got.
Right.
But address this thought process that everybody has, that they've got us by the balls, the unit party, and we're never going to win.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, everybody, it'd already be over. Just because Donald Trump won. Just remember this. If they would have stolen it from Donald Trump, and I said, if I was their marketer, they're not going to do it. That we had got the word out over 4 years about these machines. Everybody knows they got to go. Everybody knows they're crooked. So if Donald Trump, if they'd have stolen it from, we'd already have these machines open up like a can opener, and they'd be gone. But instead, everybody, don't say it's hopeless or whatever. Do you know that just 3 weeks ago, look at the executive order that the president passed. That is just the tip of the iceberg of what we're doing. That's from the top down. There's no QR codes or barcodes used on paper ballot. That eliminates Georgia's machine. That's how they run. Anyone could say, well, we have paper ballots. They're counted on computer tabulators. It's all computerized. It's like computer paper. It doesn't matter. By the way, we have the best replacement systems in the world. My team has 3 of them, developed by three different groups. And we took all the information from the best in the world, France, Germany, the UK, the Netherlands. I met with them all. We took it all together. Here's best practices. We have paper, like the president said, that's more secure than money. It was developed in Texas, way more secure than money. Now, if you have these elections, you have cameras now. This isn't going back in time to the Flintstones. This is taking the best there is and expand. You have the cameras now. You see your number go by and going, hey, all right, the numbers don't come out. How do we do an audit? You rewind the tapes. What a concept. Boom, there it is. Taiwan, remember, Argentina did this. They switched over their whole country in 4 months. We have 14 months. Why only 14 months? Actually, we probably have 12. We have to get them gone by the spring of next year, of 26. Why is that? Because the Republicans steal all of their candidates in the primaries. The uniparty Republicans, you always wonder how did this guy beat out so-and-so then to get to the general election? He's a rhino or he's this. That's because they're doing it in the primaries. All these down tickets, everything else, that's what they're doing. We are on the ground up, and whoever asks that question, go to lindellplan.com. We have the Election Crime Bureau connected to that. I have over 300,000 people on the ground in all 50 states. We're working, we're winning. We have many, many counties that have already went to paper ballots and counted. But you don't hear about that in the news, and you don't hear about the successes that we got done at the same time as the machines with 100% accuracy. And so they've already been tried, tested. We don't need hey, well, I wonder how this would work in real time. We already done it. And so we're working from the ground up. Now, it's becoming easier when you do have the president there, and he did that executive order, because even though they can try and block whatever, we can go back to the county clerks, these uniparty, horrible county clerks that have blocked us from where a county can vote. You can vote and say, hey, I don't want the machine. We want paper ballots hand counted. And now we go back to them and they go, we go right down the list. Well, it'll cost more. No, it costs, it's like the president said, 8% of the cost you save your county. Well, it won't get done in time. Gets done at the same time. Every argument they have, we have covered. And now we can point to our great president and say, and you got an executive order. You know what? We're going to call you out. Why do you want to keep these machines? Do you work for Dominion? Do you work for ES&S? There's something hidden if they say, I want to keep them. Just like the stunt they pulled in Arkansas 2 years ago. This stuff is going away. We have so much hope. Here's what you all need to do. LindellPlan.com. The other thing you need is vocal.com, VOCL.com. It's my social media site. It's also our election site. It is Facebook on steroids. And it's connected to Lindell TV. Just go to Mike Lindell apps and click on it. Get that vocal app. You guys need to stay informed and don't give up. If you find someone out there giving, oh, it's hopeless. Look what they did down in Georgia. Crooked Brad won. He's winning. No, he's not winning. You know, this brings it to light. We have to bring this to light and show them what's really going on, because our president knows. I will tell you this. He knows, and he will never stop trying to secure our elections and get to paper ballots and counting. That's a fact, Neil. He said it the other day when he did his little press release thing there. He goes, people wonder why I'm worried about our elections when I won by a landslide. You know, the people around going, hey, just let that go. He's not letting it go. I told him when him and I sat together a few weeks ago, I said, sir, your great things you're going to do these next 4 years. We can't let it go down in vain. We can't let it be in vain. We have to win right now. Like you said, we get one shot at this, everybody. And it started on November 3rd of 2020. It started back on November 3rd of 2020. That's the most important day ever, and I'm saying that because that's the part where it was a deviation. It started to open people's eyes going, there's problems in our elections? Really? They've been cheating in elections since the dawn of time. But when you use computers, it doesn't take too many people to steal your whole country. It's over. And if that happens here, everybody, it's over. That's why I never back down, and I never will back down. We can't.
Do you know, I want to ask my audience a question here really quickly. I mean, there's a lot of different states represented out here, okay? And I know, Mike feels the most crooked Secretary of State in the nation is Brad Raffensperger. I really am. Jenna Griswold is really bad out in Colorado. So, I mean, there's a lot of options here. But let me ask you, outside of 2020, what do you people feel was the most egregious example of election thievery? Okay, outside of 2020, let's not go there. But since then, there's been plenty of examples. What in my audience, what do you guys think is the worst one? I have an idea on this, but I'm just curious what you guys think. Mike, I did state this before, and I really do want to ask you this question, and that is, how do you, and look again, folks, go to mypillow.com/lumberjack. Best deals on the site are on that page. Also, there's the 800 number, which is my preferred way of ordering. Okay. Call the 800 number, give those home operators some business. 1-800-568-2865. Again, that's 1-800-568-2865. Just today, launched the kitchen and towel sale. Again, exclusive to Lumberjack listeners. So is the MyCross. It's 20% off on the main site with other codes. It's 30% off here, folks. Go use this. Get some gifts for people because, Mike, you're facing a real uphill battle here. I think about you a lot, and I do pray for you. And I think to myself, okay, Mike's got all these things going on. But the fuel behind everything that you do is MyPillow. The thing that makes everything possible is MyPillow. And sometimes I just wish you could focus on that and had great people in place to do the other things, because you need to be out there selling pillows, because if there's no money, this whole thing doesn't work. So I encourage you people, that's why I talk about Amazon, and I don't shop there. I did have to buy one thing from them last year. It was a battery I couldn't find anywhere else. But I mean, I'm hard pressed to ever buy anything off of Amazon. But you can go to a place like mypillow.com, mystore.com, and support a patriot, and your dollars, then you're dumping so much of your money into this fight, Mike. So thank you for that. But how do you run a business plan? And I'm really serious about this, because I've worked. I mean, I've run other people's businesses. I've been a director of sales and marketing as well, and I don't like. You've got all these POs. You count on, like, a PO is like, it's like gold, folks. You think it's coming in. And then so you're getting these POs, purchase order. That's what it means, meaning that they're taking the product and they're cutting you a check. Okay. And then they're just canceling out these POs on you.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you run a business like that?
It's so hard, everybody, when you expect this and you put it in your cash flow, and you expect, especially now, because I have no personal money, it's gone. I put it all into the country, 40, $50 million, everything I had, and even borrowed against it. And it is very hard, because literally 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, this one, it's Bell's, and I'll just say that one, we loaded their trucks, and they sent us a cancellation notice. And it's disgusting. This is Bell's, or I don't know how you spell it. That's just one example. The list goes on and on. And here's another thing too. And I should probably read them. I think I'm going to do that on my show. I know Steve Bannon was going to read them on his. We went around, everybody, just 2 weeks ago, and sent out to all the ones that had canceled us, and all the box stores in the country, the top 100. I told my guys, I said, you know what? We need business now. We need to reach out again. I would say, Donald Trump's already in. They canceled us 4 years ago or some. Let's see what's going on. We put it all out there. This company in Michigan, this big stores in Michigan, and she sends this is just an example, you guys, of what we're getting back. In Michigan, this lady, I'm probably gonna put her phone number and her email up on my show today. I'm sitting here, I'm praying about it, but I'm so disgusted with these answers. She said, "We do not want the brand MyPillow in our stores. This is not something that we want," or something, to that extent. And a callback is not necessary. Do not call us. And it's not like they're not saying the pillows. We're giving them, it's their number one selling product in history. We sold 84 million MyPillows. This is one thing. Here's an example of a USA made company. Here's a crack addict that was saved by Jesus, and turned his life, the American dream, on steroids. And why are they doing this? It's just evil coming back to us. It's not like, hey, we're not going to take, another one. Here's their out. A lot of them put, we don't carry pillows anymore. Liar. Give me a break. Well, really, what are these online? What do they call these here that you lay your head on at night? Why don't you just say to them? I mean, it's so bizarre. And I went into my VP's office yesterday, and I said, okay, who do we call back? I'll call them personally, talk to their CMOs and COOs. And the step is about like this. He goes, check this out. Email after email. And I'm going, you know what? This is just horrible. I said, these employees I have that need the support. And I said, what did I do? Because I want to go to paper ballots. These stores out there, from your Costco's of the world to your Kohl's to your HEB. HEB was one we reached back out of Texas. I mean, these box stores, they should be called out. It's disgusting. And now what they're trying to do is set up Elon Musk, and to attack his companies. It's just wrong. Why? Because he wants to save money for all of us, so that you can spend more money on where the needs are. It's bizarre. It's common sense. And Neil, this is, in some of these stores, they've been attacked by bots, or they might get a call from, hey, no, you do not do business with MyPillow or else.
Yes.
There's some of that going on, everybody.
Yep.
But there's also Slumberland in Minnesota. Slumberland, everybody. I will put this out. Horrible. I did everything for that company. I did everything for that company, and those rats, I mean, come back just this last week and say, we want nothing to do with MyPillow. Shame on you, Slumberland. You know what? I mean, Neil, I would spend so much time with them. They were doing this whole line of MyPillow. We were their biggest push ever, I believe, in sales ever. And then, boy, that January of 21 come along. We're just going to come out here. And by the way, there were other companies that carried my book. My book, everybody, when my book came out then, and here all the bookstores just collapsed it, including christianbooks.com. Why? Because
Wow.
I want to get rid of the electronic voting machine and go to paper ballots. It's unbelievable, Neil. I mean, this is what I
Yes.
put up every day. I have to get up in the morning, pray, and you know what? They have done what they've. If it wouldn't be for the great people I have in the last 4 years, all those people, the volunteers and everything, which you can find at lindellplan.com, that are still out there fighting because they know. They've seen what I've seen and know what I know. If we don't get to paper ballots, it's over. We're going to lose the country, everybody. There's a reason 132 countries have banned electronic voting machines. There's a reason over 100 countries have banned early voting and mail-in voting. This is it. You can sit there and whatever. It doesn't matter if you're a liberal or conservative or what you are. You don't get to vote if we don't win now. You don't get to vote. The uniparty controls our world. The deep state globalists. And one time they might like you over here. The next time they do somewhere, oh, I don't go along with that. But it don't matter. You can't change it because you won't have a vote. That's the bottom line. That's reality. That's what they fear, Neil. And what they've done by attacking me, by attacking MyPillow, and by attacking now Keith Ellison, the horrible Attorney General of Minnesota, coming after my Lindell Recovery Network, and Lindell Foundation, which I put all the money in back then, 100%. They found a deduction that my accountants missed, that I didn't take a $145,000 deduction. I mean, this is, but they're doing it for a different reason, not because they think anything was done wrong. I was the only one that put money in. What are you investigating? If I took my deductions, if I got them all? No, they're doing it to tie me up, so I got to focus on this. I've been in Minnesota. I was in Minnesota for over a month trying to we're running on the razor's edge with MyPillow and all the attacks. So what am I not focused on? Crooked Brad Rassenberger and getting rid of these machines. But everybody, my team has built up so much over there, and they're all in, and they keep on going forward. And so, but it would be, I couldn't do it without like your audience, the support of MyPillow, because without that, they would have won. MyPillow's destroyed, and you're right. That goes down. I still keep talking, but those.
I can't imagine you not.
And you guys, here's another thing too. At lindelltv.com, you guys go there. It's Rudy Giuliani, myself. We have all afternoon at the White House. I have people, White House correspondents, right inside there. We are your best place for that. There's no better place. We have one on Capitol Hill, and we have Kara at the White House, and every day. And by the way, you can all get involved in that too. We're publicly traded. Go to fsbn.com, fsbn.com. Frank Speech Broadcast Network is soon going to change to Mike Lindell Media, but they right now that's with all the stocks and everything's out there when it's crashing. Ours went up yesterday, Neil, because people need to get involved. Our voice, we need to expand our voice, and you've done that. You've done that, just an amazing job. People, what we have now that we didn't have then, everybody. You go back 4 years, and I told the president this. The difference is now, when crooked things happen like today, with crooked Brad Rassenberger down there, that stunt they pulled in Georgia, everyone's going to know about it. We don't need the mainstream media to do it. We're going to put the word out. All the podcasters I know, we're going to put the word out today. That's going to be the focus, because people need to know that no, Georgia's elections aren't safe. Brad's the biggest traitor and most crooked politician I could ever think of in my life. And he's down there controlling these devices, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, it don't matter. That's the tip of the spear. Oh, we have safe elections with paper ballots in Georgia. No, you don't. You don't have paper ballots hand counted. You have QR codes and computers. And just because you have paper out of a computer and you can get a printout doesn't mean if the printout has a QR code and you can't see what's inside it, that's a computer, everybody. It's a joke. It's a joke. And that Judge rules on that. Either she was A, got threatened, Neil, or
Mhm.
B, she was in on it from the get-go, and this is all a timing thing. And they sit in a room and go, okay, let's wait till the spring of 25, and then you can say there's no standing. After 8 years,
8 years.
8 years, you guys don't have standing. Couldn't you have told us that 8 years ago? You guys, what's wrong right now? The judges have gone completely out of their mind. The judge, remember when I got into it with the lawyer from one of my lawsuits, that went viral. Remember that, Neil?
I love that. It's my favorite video of all time.
But when that went
Ambulance
viral,
case.
everybody, one of the things you all missed, or you might have missed, that in those depositions, the lawyer turns to me after he called my pillows lumpy, and I called him a few things. He turns to me and he went after my employees, but he turns, he says, you know, the judge is going to see this, and I go, you know what? And I turned, I got nothing against you on that. I turned to the camera, I said, I got a big problem with you, Judge Wang. I said, what she had done, everybody, in the summer of 20, the summer of 22 or the summer of 23, I get this lawsuit, right? And we put in for a dismissal. A dismissal. I didn't even know this guy, Coomer. I didn't even know what it was. I'm going, what are you talking about? I thought it was it. And so we put in for a dismissal. Now, when you do that, you guys, the judge needs to rule. It's like anything, it saves citizens, whatever. If you're getting sued and you were, let's say, and you weren't even there, you had nothing to do with it, you put in for a dismissal, go, okay, it's dismissed. That's your first line of defense in a frivolous lawsuit. This judge looked at it, everybody, and said, well, you know what? We're going to head and go move on, and I'll rule on this dismissal later. So she wrote, 9 months went by, everybody. I get to that deposition. I go, whatever happened to the dismissal? Oh, the judge never ruled. I laid into it. And I said, you know what? You're going to ruin our country. This is a fight for every citizen in this country. If judges did that, it'd be over, everybody. Anybody sue your neighbor, sue this, sue that. And if you can't, if the judges aren't going to go for dismissal, they'll run you out of money. Whoever has the most money wins. That's the way it would be. Instead, I had no money left. But I thought it, and I said, you know what? I went on my show on Lindell TV and said, you need to rule. I don't care. Rule against or for. I don't care. But Judge Wayne, you can't. I'm not going to let you ruin our country. And you know what? She ruled, Neil. She ruled against me, but at least she ruled. Terrible ruling, but that, you know what I mean? You can't have other
Yes.
judges use that for a precedent and say, okay, I can just wait on a
Yep.
dismissal. That the craziest stuff has happened in the last 4 or 5 years. You guys I can't even put it into words.
Well, do you know, and I was gonna, I had a lot of people, Mike, in the chat saying, give us a list of the companies so we won't shop there. Now, I just want to, like, here's the thing. I'm sure, Mike, that you have certain companies that you're trying to win back. They weren't like as rude, and
Right.
you think you can win them back. But the companies that have just burned the bridge, let us know. Like,
That's
I'm serious.
Bell's has burned that bridge. I'm not sure how to spell it like Bell's. They're the ones that canceled 3 weeks ago.
But can you get us, and this is why. So I don't know if you know who Robbie Starbuck is, but he's on X, and he does, his whole thing is DEI. He exposes DEI at companies. And he's gotten companies like John Deere, Harley Davidson, all these companies to drop their DEI policies because they don't want to be exposed. Because the
Right.
left has long used boycotts. This is all part of Rules for Radicals by Saul Alinsky.
Right.
And, you know, the right has typically been like, they don't want to boycott because they just want to buy from, you know, the best producer,
Right.
this kind of thing. Right. Well, that being said, I think we can apply pressure to these companies if we get a list. You
I'll
give me
get
that
you that
list.
list. Yes,
You get me
I'll
that
get you
list.
that list. I'll get you that list. And I wish I could remember that one in Michigan, because that'd be the first one I would call out. That was disgusting. Not saying she doesn't want to sell pillows at this time. We will have nothing to do with the MyPillow brand, and don't bother calling us.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
You know,
What
I
a
mean,
lovely lady.
disgusting.
So,
Huh?
but I think we can. My audience is very active, Mike, in terms of like, you know, they're the ones that did the affidavits to Governor Walz during COVID. They're the ones that show up in our poll watchers, and they're election judges. These are the people when Rona Romney McDaniel was doing such a bad job, and I asked them all to call. They were all calling the RNC. Right. So they will call these stores that they've shopped at before and say, I'm not shopping with you anymore because of what you've done to Mike Lindell. And I think we can make this more of a movement. I can get some other people involved because we need to kind of take that back.
Absolutely.
So
This has done such damage. We've lost hundreds of millions of dollars since I first spoke out in January of 21. And my employee-owned company, these employees, it's so sad when they sit there and they had nothing to do with it, and then they get sued, and then all these box stores on top of it cancel them all. I mean, it's like where does it end? You got canceled and the shopping channels, everybody. What QVC and HSN, shame on them. It's disgusting what they do. We're the biggest selling products of all time. And I'm telling you, Neil, if it wouldn't be for like your audience, and they're one of the best there is for supporting MyPillow, if we wouldn't be here right now. And I'm telling you that for a fact. So you guys, that's why we run. When we run this, I joke, but it's true. I just called up Dawn. I said, you know what? You should change it to, when we start advertising for the Lumberjack code, the wholesale code. The wholesale price is code Lumberjack, promo code Lumberjack, because that's what it is. They're paying like those sheets, the $29.98. That's what that the box stores would have paid, and they would have doubled or more than doubled the price at the retail level. So they're the ones missing out. I said, you know what? I'm going to give it to you guys, the audience there. That's what I did with all these kitchen towels. We had hundreds of thousands of dollars of these kitchen towels and all these accessories. Scroll down, all these accessories. People are going, I have all your products. No, you don't. Look, we have oven mitts, aprons. I mean, all this stuff for the kitchen. You guys would have never thought that. All of these products, you can shop around on at MyPillow, and all of these things are wholesale prices to you now. And you guys, we made it easy for you. If you don't want to type in mypillow.com/lumberjack, go to the page, scroll down, and click on Neil's picture, and there it is right there. We put him right in there with Bannon and myself. This is it. These are the biggest audience in the United States of America, right there. Lumberjack, Bannon, the podcast, and then Mike Gallagher. Boom, Neil, you made the top four. Now, a couple weeks, you keep this up, you'll be number one there.
That's right. That's right. Well, my audience is really number one. I mean,
that's what I mean. Yep, absolutely.
It's totally very supportive. So if you click on this, folks, you can get right to the Lumberjack page with all those specials. If you don't want to remember the /Lumberjack, but I will, Mike, I've got to say too to you. I mean, I remember, here I am on YouTube, and I've been demonetized. I've been at 2 strikes 3 times. So I had to just stop making content over here, because then they're just going to wipe you out. I don't believe in masochism. It's like I can go produce content somewhere else. Sadly, it's this is, and I want to be able to get out to the normies. I don't want to necessarily just be in a silo, but but during all of this, Mike, during all of that, when I was demonetized, MyPillow kept my podcast going, or I wouldn't have been able to keep on doing it as much. I would have just had to go back to producing videos for companies like what I'm used to doing. And some days I'd like to just go back to that, Mike. I'll be honest, because
well, you guys, that's why this is a win-win-win-win. You're helping my employees, you're helping me, you're helping save the country, you're helping this great podcast, one of the greatest in the country, if not the greatest. I don't know one better, Neil, and I mean that. And then you're helping yourself get the best products in history. One of the things I want to add, one more to that, is mystore.com, everybody. I built that platform over 4 years, put in millions of dollars, because we vet every product, we vet who's behind the product, and it's 100% made in the USA. And guess what the best promo code you can use there is? Lumberjack. Promo code Lumberjack. If you scroll down, go ahead and scroll down. You guys, over there at you have all these things. I've added up to my store. There's the honey. You have the gummies. All these things. There's thousands at the top of the website. Thousands and thousands of USA products. It's like a mini Amazon. You sort through it. You get all these, and there's a story behind each product. I could sit here and tell you the story. Stop right there. Like the bleed stop, those stuff. I got involved with that product. That's a local company, 20 minutes from me. You cut yourself, you put it on there, it stops the bleeding. And for animals too. It's an amazing product. One of the best products ever brought to me. And it's so amazing. And using this product, you're in emergency, you're out in the field, hunting, fishing, whatever. I don't care. You keep in the glove box of the car. These products are incredible. and they're 100% USA, and they work. I'm going to put it up there if it didn't work. So you have so many products there, and now you have a fifth aspect to what you're supporting. All these entrepreneurs, and this is their platform. I built it because you know why, Neil? Entrepreneurs like myself, you get your company, your invention or your thing gets stolen in the trenches, I call them, which is at the home shows and fairs or on Amazon. They get copied. All of a sudden, you look up one day and there it is, made in China. Made in
China.
China, and it's your name, even my name. Like they'll be copied, and it's just disgusting. And so here you go, you guys. We do all this
Well,
support.
a lot of people have
MyStore.com.
asked, Mike. I saw this in chats before. Where do you get like that picture that you had behind you in your office? And there, well, here it is.
Yeah, there it is, right there. That great painter, Vanessa. All her prints are there. Um, And you use that promo code Lumberjack there too. Now you're supporting these entrepreneurs and you're made in the USA. This isn't like half made in the USA. Look at all those. Scroll up to the top there. Look at all the categories right
Oh
there on
yeah,
the top of the website. You guys, you click on them, the products go on and on. They're endless. You have all these products up there, and some of them are so unique and made in the USA. And these guys were,
this is
everybody.
cool.
These
Look at this.
entrepreneurs have thanked me so much, but you know what? This site got attacked too. This site got attacked relentlessly by Jimmy Kimmel, everybody. He made fun of this site back when it was in its infancy. Look at Mike's site. There was, maybe like 20 products up there, but now there's thousands, and we spend the time spent at my store we just don't take anything up there. They have to get to come through. By the way, if you have a product out there, anyone, it's got to be made in the USA, and go ahead and apply it at my store. Go there, scroll down, and apply it. Apply your product. It has to go through a whole process. It's just like this, Neil. Just like MyPillow, everybody. We don't let just any host sell MyPillow products. What we do, you can't, unless you use them and believe in them, which they all do, but you would be surprised the host calls up and go, hey, we want you to advertise with us. They said, no, you don't get to unless you try the product. And then when they try it, they call back. It's a whole process. Wow, these sheets are made, these pillows changed my life. Now you're selling from the heart. Neil, you know this to be true because way back when you
Yes.
couldn't sell it until you tried all the products and going, here you go, have a ball. And then we caught you out sleeping, falling asleep out fishing and stuff. Then you're nice travel.
Well, you've got that great My Coffee to wake me up in the morning, and then I get to lay my head on a My Pillow at night. Another product I really love because I'm a big believer in down. I've got your down comforter. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, there's nothing. And you guys, every product I micromanage. I look at it. I say, well, what's going to make this better? Better. I make the product. Then I worry about the cost. I want to make it the best it can be. And then look at it. Okay, what costs this much? I got to charge this much, but I don't have the box stores, so I don't have that big old, we have no middleman here. It's right to you, everybody. I'm going to pre-announce the product right now. I'll give an example, everybody. And this product is an energy drink. It's called Rev 7. I helped design, name, everything. And it's got ketones, this BHB, which is patents. No one else got it. And they came to me and I'm going, when products get brought to me, I'm going, wow. Now I've been drinking it for probably 3 months now. And it helps your body needs two things, glucose or ketones, and when you're born and stuff, you have all these ketones. Well, that's your brain's cognitive, it's your thinking, your clarity. So every day I'm drinking this with no crash, and there's no caffeine, no sugar. You guys, this is coming. Neil, why don't we tease everybody? We'll do a show either maybe over the week or maybe Monday. Why don't we do that Monday? You can be the launch of this product, everybody. You want to do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
And I'll tell you guys, we'll show you from how a product, when it's brought to me, what I do as an entrepreneur from its infancy all the way up. This was brought to me last August, everybody. I actually heard it on another show, but it was a test. They were doing testing. And I go, wow, if there was such a product like that, an energy drink with no sugar, no caffeine, nothing, it was and it was good for you. What if you made an energy that not only kept you energized, but it was healthy for you? You could drink it as a health drink. I would go, this would be incredible. Come on. There's no such thing. Well, there is now, everybody. This has taken almost, August. It was the middle of August. I met the owner, met the guy, met the inventor, all this, and now here we are in April. This is how long. You don't just put stuff out there and go, here you go, let's go. Will everybody buy it? No, we had to make sure it was the best that it could be, even the ingredients, everything. And it's been amazing working with these guys. So maybe we can do that on Monday. We'll be like an entrepreneur show. And you guys, I'm telling you, this is the best energy drink in the history of mankind. When you see the technology behind it with those ketones, when you go in, I'll give an example. When you go into a keto diet, on the fourth day, your body starts producing ketones, okay? Instead of glucose. So your body produces. This is what your brain needs, okay? And this isn't about a diet, but there's so many things, benefits. It's beyond anything I've seen. So you know me, I'm going, when I don't want to have jitters when I'm drinking a health drink energy drink and all that, but I feel good. It feels clear and there's no crashes. So I think that'll be a fun one to do on Monday. Your audience, they deserve to be the first,
Sounds good. Hey, and I always used to have a saying, Mike, you want to be first, but if you can't be first, you might as well be worst. Because I won these two golf tournaments I went to one time. I mean, I placed dead last, and I got prizes equal to the second place. one I was at, I started out through 3 holes. We were the leading team, and then my whole game fell apart. Like so there was an award called the LUMBERJACK Award for hitting more trees on the course than anybody else. I got that. I got a free axe with knife combo for that. Okay. Other people got cheap plastic trophies. I got an axe.
Well, my question is then, down the road, did you go from worst to first like the Twins did back in '91?
I did not in golf, man. I am not willing to put the time into golf to do it. But I was good at sales, not so good at golf. That was the
You would be both.
Anyways, Mike, thanks for coming on. And I really do. My audience will pray for you here before you leave, because you really do face just incredible battles. I want MyPillow to succeed for a whole host of reasons, because it is the tip of the spear for election integrity. I like you. I like having you as a sponsor. I mean, it's been good for my show. So, Father God, we just come before you right now in the mighty name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, and we thank you. We thank you for the beautiful world you placed us in, for our families, for our country. And God, we just ask, and we know that you are able. Lord, do a supernatural work with Mike's company, MyPillow, and my store. I'll cause it to succeed beyond the wildest expectations of anybody out there. Show Jimmy Kimmel that, and maybe Jimmy Kimmel can come to know the Lord. He can come to know Jesus, your son. So, God, we just ask for tremendous success for Mike, his companies, and we pray for our nation, Lord, and this whole election integrity movement. And we know you are able. Watch over our president, Donald Trump. They've already tried to take his life twice, maybe 3 times, depending upon how you look at that, Lord. And just ask that you would put a hedge of protection around him. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. Amen.
Thanks, Neil. Thank you all out there. Promo code Lumberjack. Remember, the best promo code there is.
That's right.